My name is Andrew Maskrey. I'm the coordinating lead author of the CDRI Biennial Report on Global Infrastructure Resilience. This is the first edition of a report that's going to come out every 2 years. The report we think is quite unique because it really is probably one of the first reports that's come out internationally but really looks at this big issue of infrastructure resilience. The report starts off by really looking at the challenge of infrastructure resilience. And this is a challenge that's particularly faced by developing countries. In the report, we talk about low and middle income countries. So these are in a sense, the world's poorer countries. We discuss also high income countries in the report, but the report's really aimed at countries like India and its colleagues and its pars in the world, who are countries which still have a lot of issues to address in infrastructure. So probably one of the first issues that countries need to address is actually having more infrastructure. Clearly in high-income countries that's not an issue, but I mean in middle-income countries like India, and particularly in low-income countries like many of the sub-Saharan African countries, there's still a huge infrastructure deficit. When we say infrastructure deficit, that means that people don't necessarily have access to the services, the essential services they need: transport, water, power, health, education, all the things that infrastructure provides and which are really important for social development. And particularly, as I said, it's not just finance for infrastructure, it's finance for resilient infrastructure. So the report then looks at, different ways in which this can happen. Making the economic case for resilience isn't difficult. The report's actually called Capturing the Resilience Dividend. We have to find some way of monetizing that, bundling all those projects together into what we call a project pipeline, spread over 5 or 10 years, can suddenly provide a much more attractive vehicle for investors to invest into. If countries established, we're proposing national resilience funds, putting some public money in to, in a sense, de-risk the process. Again, can then allow climate finance, public finance, private finance, insurance all to come together to again provide, perhaps we hope, a very sort of attractive environment for investors wanting to invest. And we have a model in what's called payment for ecosystem services, which many countries are already using, in which the sort of part of these resilience benefits can actually go back to the people who are actually providing the resilience. So, as I said, we haven't given a blueprint in the report saying this is what has to happen, but we've shown a number of pathways. So the job of CDRI, I think, after this report is then persuading some of its members to actually start walking down some of these pathways, and that's our objective. Thank you very much for your patience and attention.